Guten Tag, grüezi miteinander, hello. My name is Eve and I'm going to talk about activities your child can do alongside their German teacher. So my children love food, and anytime food's involved in class, they're gonna love German learning that day. So what I do is I get the most random foods around the house so they can do a blindfold taste test. So I'll get anything from bread to cheese to a spoonful of ice cream, different candies. And if your children are really into Harry Potter, you can buy a pack of those Harry Potter jelly beans, those different flavored jelly beans. Maybe, those cinnamon hearts, if your child likes that. Maybe a little piece of lemon. So just really random foods that are savory and sweet. And so when your child is, has the food in their hand and they're blindfolded, your teacher can ask, how does the food feel like in your hand? What do you think it is? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Is it sour? Is it sweet? Is it salty? Is it sticky? Is it chewy? And your child will be able to say different phrases like, I don't like that, or I love this, or it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. So they're building up their vocabulary in a really fun and engaging ways while they're engaging all their senses. So it's so much fun. I do this all the time with my children. Another activity you can do is, it's also food related. You can bake with them. If your child is old enough, this is a great activity to do with your German tutor. So what I do have to prep ahead of time. I usually prep the ingredients. I send our German tutor a recipe that we're using, and then I'll label all the foods in German, like for the flour, the baking soda, the sugar, and so on, the eggs. And so the German tutor will tell my son, okay, well, let's start off by putting the sugar and the butter in the bowl. And then she's gonna tell him, to mix it up. So she's talking in German the whole time. And the child will continue to add the ingredients and mix it. And then, of course, I'll put it in the oven. But that's so much fun. It does get really messy, especially if your child is very young. But it's so much fun and they love it, and they are building up their vocabulary, which is so important. So it's so much fun. So I definitely recommend it. But it does involve a bit of prep time. Now I'm going to show you two fun things that is a lot of prep time, but you can do this for multiple classes. So what I did here, and I'll show you a picture. So I cut out different pieces of paper, and if you already have a, fake foods and like one of those play kitchens, you just use that. But what I did was I cut up different pieces of lettuce and all the toppings of a salad. So any topping you can think of, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, peppers, onions. The list goes on and on. So my son absolutely loved this activity. He did it for weeks with my German tutor, and it was so much fun. And yes, when they're done doing their salad, you might have to sort it again, but you know what? It's so much fun. Or have your child help you, because this is great. So it's a lot of fun, and my son did love it so much. We also did this with, I labeled different boxes and containers with the German word. I don't know if you can see it in this, but so the German teacher was talking to my son how to make a soup, because my son was really wanting to make a soup. So, he added little tomatoes and onions and garlic. So anything the recipe had, I labeled it, and then he added it, and she's telling him to stir, so he's building up his vocabulary, and he's able to touch the ingredients. So she's like, grab the chicken broth, and he grabs it, so it's not like he's just sitting down learning about soup. So it's a super fun interactive activity. Another activity your child can do with your teacher are crafts, arts and crafts. For instance, if you wanted to make a robot together, have your child cut out the shapes before class, and then during class, they can color and make a robot. And by the end, your child can talk about the robot. Like, it has 3 eyes, it has a triangle nose, its body is blue, or its body is dark blue, or he has light green shoes on, he has hair. And your German tutor can ask, like, what's your robot's name? If you want to put a popsicle stick on back of your paper and hold it up like a puppet, like, give it a name. Tell me about your robot. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Does he wear a cape? What does he do? How does he move around? What's his super power? So if your child is really into superheroes, that's super fun to make your craft come to life. Another activity that I'm going to talk about are rocks. I've mentioned rocks before for a little bit, but I'm going to go in more depth today. So we have this rock kit at home, and what's great about this, my children learn a lot with touch, and they're a bit fidgety, so this helps them because they're able to talk about something and touch it at the same time. So the teacher can talk about, tell me about the rock. What color is it? Is it smooth? Is it rough? Does it have a lot of layers? Where do you think the rock came from? Do you think it came from a volcano, or where did it come from? I wish I would have picked up rocks as a child growing up, because it probably would have made my geology class in 10th grade a lot better. So this is such a great activity. They're learning about rocks. They can even organize the rocks from biggest to smallest, from lightest to darkest, from heaviest to lightest, and so on. So you can do this activity for one class. You can just go on and on, and kids just love it. And the different colors, the different weights, how smooth it is, how shiny it is, or if it's dull, if it has cracks in it. So these are all super fun activities your child can do alongside their German tutor. I hope you try some of them, and even though some of them it takes a little bit to prepare, you can do the activity for multiple lessons and multiple classes. So I hope you do that. If you do, let me know how it went in the comments. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about how I talk to my children about being interracial, being multicultural, a book that changed my life, and maybe it will change yours as well, and how we connect to our cultures and our countries. So please stay tuned, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Dankeschön. Tschüss.